bad singers when they ask you not to sing in church. Like, hey, Schaefer's, please, no singing, no singing, no singing, no singing. It's Saturday morning. Let's have some fun. Well, I'm super excited. So I want to help people maximize their journey and their fat loss process. And it's funny because I'm on a lot of calls, and I mean a lot of calls. And it's interesting because there's a lot of confusion out there, but there's a lot of simplicity that people get. Like I talk to people that have great results. You know, I was just on a call with a lady that's lost 70 pounds, maintained it, I don't know, almost 6 years now. And it's completely changed her life, right? But it wasn't always easy, you know, meaning that she's had mistakes she made along the way and faults she's made along the way. And what so happens is, you know, I want to help you maximize your fat loss results. At the same time, I want you to be healthy. I want you to live better. I want you to feel better. I want you to maintain it. And it's not going to be a straight road, right? Derek, we can talk about it. It's not going to be a straight road, but I can tell you, and I told him the same thing. It's like, when you get to the end, those bumps along the way are your biggest things that you get to pass on, because there's obstacles that other people are going to go through too. So Janelle's down 4 pounds from the iFast. That's awesome. Janelle, super excited. And I love the iFast. If you're doing it with us, that's super exciting. Let me know. I want any feedback on that. Make sure you hashtag iFast when you post it out so we can see the stories come in. But let's talk about maximizing. If you're just getting started with ketones, or you've been using them for a while, a few mistakes that people make. I'm going to give you some how to do it, and then some of the mistakes, and then some of the tips that you can do to get better. And if you have questions, bloat is gone. That's a good thing. But if you have some questions, feel free to shoot them out to me, and let me help you do that. Now, not everybody that follows me drinks ketones yet. They will. Once you realize what they are, they will. You want me to hold you? You want me to hold you? All right. She's kind of a film snob. She wants to be on camera. She doesn't want to be on the sidelines here. Say hi, Isabella. Say hi. This is Isabella. She is our 4th child, our 3rd girl, and most likely our last baby. Most likely. But did you guys know that when she was in mama's belly, that pregnant women actually produce ketones, even if they're not on a ketogenic diet, for the baby? So it's kind of a cool story. It's shows you how powerful this is. And do you know that when she's breastfed, a breastfed baby, which I was not breastfed. Mom, shame on you. Just kidding. My poor mom. I always blame her for everything. I'm like, Mom, it was your fault. It was your fault. I love my mom so much. But you know that breastfed babies, when they drink breast milk, it has a fatty acid called medium chain fatty acids, and that fatty acid actually is digested into the belly, and into the liver, produces ketones for development of the child. So babies are very much ketogenic, and they need ketones for a lot of the positive benefits that we get to have today this way. So, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I just had to say that because I picked up the little baby. But if you want to maximize fat loss, the first thing you want to do is, and if you're drinking ketones, that's what you're going to do. You're going to drink these first thing in the morning. And I would tell people this: if you're really big on going out for a morning walk, what you could do is you could delay this till after the walk, and you're basically fasted walking in the morning. It's a strategy I used since college. I don't do it anymore because I just don't have time, to be honest. I have time. I just hadn't prioritized that time. But anyway, I have to get up early. I prioritize my sleep. But wake up in the morning, you can actually go for a 45, 50-minute walk fasted, just water. Okay. And then after that, you'd have your ketones. But you want to have your ketones first thing in the morning. The reason why is they supply a high level of fuel, brain health, energy, sustained fuel. Think about it as a car. If you want, who wants to be a 1982 Volvo beat up, rusted out Chevrolet? Is a Volvo Chevrolet? I don't even know. Volvos are not Chevrolets. I'm in Minnesota. There's like the songs like Broken Down Chevrolet or whatever, rusted. Anyway, do you want to be that, or do you want to be a high performance machine, like a high performance, Lamborghini or car, right? Well, would you put fuel in the car? Like, would you, in a Lamborghini, right? you may look or feel like the Chevrolet, but start fueling it like a Ferrari, if that's probably a Lamborghini, meaning put the high quality fuel in. So by starting your day off, you're starting yourself off with the high quality fuel. You're holding your body and your health to a higher standard. So you're going to get more out of your day. You're going to be able to do more, be more, feel more. Now, inside your body, it's doing some cool things. And inside your body, it's actually helping you become better fat burner and like metabolize. And it's all the things you want in your health. This is going to start doing on the inside. Therefore, you can do all the things on the outside more appropriately or better for what your results are. So first thing in the morning, you have this. Now, I am drinking coffee. If you'd like to enjoy your coffee, please do. When I do my fasting programs, I don't drink my coffee in the morning. I actually drink my coffee in the afternoon and I put keto cream in my coffee. Now, if you drink your coffee black, fine, you can have it anytime you want. But I have keto cream and I actually have a splash of heavy whipping cream in here. And I do that in the mornings. And that's okay too. You can definitely do that. So I'm having my coffee, my keto cream, and I'm going to have my ketones right after. It's early here. You can have your ketones first and have your coffee after. Doesn't matter. Then what you're going to do, this is the secret right here. Wait until you're hungry to eat. Most people will naturally start to intermittent fast with ketones. And you might have your first meal at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12, 1, 2, or something like that. So that'll right off the bat is going to provide you the ability to reduce your calories. And then now you have more time freedom. You don't have to worry about food so much. You're not going to have the cravings and the hunger. Ow. Ow. I cut off the tip of my thumb. Look at that. And she keeps grabbing just that tip. It's funny how that works out. And she only wants the thumb. I'm like, stop it. Okay. So here's the other option. And then I'm going to talk about food in a second because food is going to play a role in this, y'all. It really does. And in the afternoon, you have the optional second ketone in the actual afternoon. Optional second ketones in the afternoon. So I have 2 a day. Sometimes I have 3 because I want optimal performance, right? I want to perform the best I can. So in the afternoon, I have a second ketone around 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. It doesn't matter. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock rock. Any time in there is fine. I got the singing bug going on right now. This is so good. Hold on a second. Y'all enjoying this? I know I'm being goofy. I tend to get pretty intense in my coaching and I just want to like yell at people, but I'm trying to keep it light. It's Saturday morning. I will be doing a huge live here in a little bit, so stay tuned, and that'll be in the Drink Ketones Daily group. So second option in the afternoon, and that's really as simple as that. A couple tips I'll give you in a minute. But as for food, what you want to do is if you want to maximize fat burning, you want to do a few things. One, you want to reduce your carbohydrates, especially if you want to improve the ketogenic effect. Now you have to decrease your calories if you want to burn fat. So think of it this way: if your basic metabolic rate is 1,500 calories, you don't need to know all this, especially when you get started. You can check in every once in a while, but you don't need to do this on a daily basis. I'm not a big fan of tracking and counting everything. I'm a big fan of results and teaching psychological, like mental goodness, so you can sustain them. Using the scale every day. If you weigh yourself every day, throw it away. That's a tip. You will fail. I'm just telling you. I've never met a person to this day that weighs themselves every day that is free of, like, they live the life they want to do, feel good, happy, enjoy life, and are comfortable in their own skin. Haven't met that person yet. If you're that person, let me know. I'd love to meet you, but I don't see that person. So get rid of the scale. But as for food, what you want to do is you want to prioritize protein. Ladies, 50 to 100 grams of protein a day. I'm giving you as low as 50 because you're different size people. The bigger you are, the more protein you're going to need. That means the more muscle mass you have, the more calories you're going to need anyway, right? So you're going to need a little bit more protein. So think about this as like a deck of cards of protein. So if you take a deck of cards of salmon, chicken, fish, and this is a ballpark, it's going to be somewhere between 20 and 20, let's say 20 and 30 grams of protein, depends on the size of your deck of cards, but 25 grams. We'll just call it 25 grams. So 2 decks of cards of protein a day minimum. 2 decks of cards of protein a day minimum. Now, you need that. Why is that's going to have a huge impact on some nutrients? It's going to have a huge impact on your muscle development and just protecting yourself. It's got so many, there's the iron. I mean, there's so many positive benefits to having that protein. Now, if you're more active, physically active, or if you're bigger, you might need to push it up towards the 100 or even as high as 150 grams for our really more competitive women that are into fitness. So I do not recommend a lot of protein shakes outside of Prove It shakes. Ours are designed specifically to be low calorie, low impact on your body, low insulin response or no insulin response, but also with amino acids to help uptake. So I'm okay with that one. But you can use protein shakes, but just sparingly, meaning that they should be a gap filler when you're just busy, right? But they shouldn't be a foundation of your health. It needs to be real protein. Okay. Carol and Aaron just got a whole dissertation on that. So last thing with food is you want to go low carb. So I want you to go prioritize protein, go low carb. This is a mistake a lot of people make, is that they go high fat. The ketogenic diet is a high fat diet. 99% of you out there will never follow it well or long term or consistently, meaning you have slip ups. High fat and slip ups don't go well together. Now, if it's medical induced ketosis, then you're going to be very high fat and you don't get a chance to slip up. You have no options. You got to do it right. But for most people, they have the wiggle room to be able to kind of like, I'm going to take today off. Well, taking today off being high fat is a mistake, because what ends up happening is you end up overeating, and then you mixing fat and carbs is not a good thing to do, especially if you want to maximize fat loss. So you want to really focus on low carb living. So most people, you're going to want to shoot for less than 50 grams of carbs a day. For really maximizing fat burning, it's typically going to be under 30 grams of carbs a day, and even as low as 20 grams. Now, I am going to say net carbs, meaning that if you have fiber in there, you can subtract it out. There's a lot of in there. You can, I mean, I can debate it all, but what I found 20 years, I think you're pretty safe. So net carbs is basically the amount of carbs minus your fiber. Now, once again, I don't want you to measure everything. What I want you to do is start to understand that you're going to prioritize protein, and then you're going to choose low carb vegetable options. Most fruit are going to be out. Berries, yes, I'm all out. Berries are fine. Truth is you could have a mini Snickers bar and you can still do this really, really well. True story, you could. Probably not ideal because it's not optimal nutrients, right? But you could definitely do that and still get results on maximizing fat loss. So you're going to prioritize protein, and then men, 150 grams of protein, probably minimum a day, and then up from there. That's probably a safe bet. You could go a little lower on a few days. On some of your fasting days, you can go less protein. But as a consistent overall long-term process, that's about what you'd want every day. So if you're eating one meal a day, that's a lot at one time. So I recommend most men to eat at least twice a day. And if you're doing some of our fasting stuff, then you can take those days off. But the majority of your days, you should be consuming at least that much protein. So low carb vegetables. So you're looking at broccoli, asparagus, rutabagas, Brussels sprouts, rutabagas. Did I say that? I didn't mean that. Turnip roots. You're going to say cauliflower, spinaches, your leafy greens. These are the vegetables. And what you want to do is you want to cook those with some level of fat. If it's duck fat, if it's a little bit of butter, if it's olive oil, if it's avocado or avocado oil, you're going to want to cook it in those. And so that's to give you some extra nutrients, fatty acids, help you feel satiated and satisfied. Like the eating of maximizing fat loss is boring. I'm just going to tell you, there isn't all these fun keto desserts and keto things. They're fun for marketing and they're fun for talking about it. And they're a treat though. They're not your food, right? Here's the problem with food. It's boring. It's basic. And so what we have to do is teach you how to eat. The majority of your days just got to be kind of boring. It doesn't have to be bland. It can taste great, but it meaning that it's not like you got to get away from, I got to try to make pizza today and this today and that today. No, it's protein, vegetables, and some fat. That's all it really is. Get creative, have fun with it. Do I use spaghetti sauce? Yes. The spaghetti sauce, super low carb. It's low carb, but it's not super low carb, right? There's lower carb stuff. So I just want you to be clear that those are the foundations of what you do. And then if you want to add in a keto friendly or a low carb dessert from time to time, that should be a time to time. If you want to add in, so here's a few of the mistakes that people make, is they don't hydrate well. So I'm a huge fan of electrolytes. I think everybody should be using these right here. These are formulated specifically for our product. So, but they have a lot of potassium in them. They're really good for balancing out, helping with water retention, hydration. Hydration's huge. That's a big tip. You need to have plenty of water, but it's not just water. It's what's in your water. Number two big tip is you got to move your body. If you want to maximize fat loss, you got to move your body. An object in motion wants to stay in motion. So when we metabolize fat, it basically gets eliminated out of our body in very unique ways. Urine, sweat, breath, through breathing. So exercise helps us. Water helps us urine more. Let's do that. Exercise helps us breathe more and sweat more. So these are going to be things that people are going, and it's not just about exercise, right? If you combine this, a superior fuel source, with a strategy of eating that's about performance and health, that's high quality proteins, high quality vegetables, that's performance and health. Okay. You don't need a ton of carbohydrates to perform better unless you're a very specific athlete and you have Olympic gold medal around your neck or a pro athlete, most of you guys don't need a bunch of carbohydrates. Now they're fun and they taste great. I get it. I get it. But that's not going to get you the results you want. Okay. And then another big, what is going on? Should I give you back to mama? I think it's probably time. It's probably time, isn't it? And I did not bring her on here just for sympathy and just for, I'm just kidding. She's cute, isn't she? So maximizing your fat loss. The last little tip I'll give you is a few things is I would do our iFast with us. It's a fasting strategy. So intermittent fasting is a natural process of what we teach, but sometimes we want to accelerate that through some healthy ways of doing it. And it's really important to do it healthily. That's a word I just made up. So one more big mistake people make is they once again, the scale, they look at the scale and they create an expectation that the scale needs to change really fast. And losing weight, burning fat is easy. It's not hard. What happens is that your system, most likely, if you're above the age of 40, and 70% of people above the age of 40 in our country, at least, most countries, most countries at least, I'm going to walk and talk here, guys. Most countries at least are metabolically efficient, meaning you don't burn fat effectively. You have to turn that switch back on. If you do not turn that switch back on, and ketones turn the switch back on, we just don't know when. My sister was 8 weeks. 8 weeks, she did not lose really any weight. She's down 100 pounds down. Why she didn't quit, I don't know. Honestly, I don't. I think because everybody else was talking about, she had other benefits. She had energy and she started sleeping better, other things, but that's not what she wanted, right? She didn't quit. She thought about it a lot of times. I had to talk her off the ledge a few times. And she's down 100 pounds now. And what happened was her metabolic switch had to be turned back on. So if you don't look at this as a year-long journey, you're going to probably sabotage yourself because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall and you're going to go, meaning make mistakes is that you're going to read something or you're going to go to a cruise or go to a birthday party. And then it's like 2 weeks later, you start eating like you used to. That's okay. That's like, check. I realize I still go back to my old habits. I have to create a new one. So this plan is about how to train you to become a better version of yourself. We're going to provide the fuel sources, the number one fuel source in the world to help you live better. We're giving you all that. Now it's time for you to make the changes, right? To move more. Start just walking more. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be starting and keep going. And to me, this is the most important lesson. And the way to do that, a way to stay committed is to stay committed and a part of a community. So plug into these lives, plug into our team, plug into our community, because guess what? We're changing our lives. Carol, I just got with Carol, 70 pounds, 6 years, she completely changed her life. But you know what? And she says that, Prove It changed my life. And these ketones are amazing. And I go, you changed your life because you kept going when it wasn't always easy. And you kept going when things were sideways. There isn't a plan in the world. I'm going to stand behind this 100%. There is not a plan in the world that's better than this at all. Not even a little bit. There's nobody out there that has a superior fuel source to start your day. So you have that. There's nothing out there that's teaching you. We want you to eat food and real food and high quality food. We don't want to give you fake food or shakes that are going to ultimately mess you up later, because that's what's out there right now. And it's just crap. And people are spending thousands of dollars on this crap. And it drives me nuts. We want to give you a community of people that have had ups and downs along the way. So stay with us, plug into us, and know that it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be just, I magically lost all my weight and nothing, everything was perfect and easy. Nothing comes that way. Nothing, no relationship. I mean, I have kids. I get it. Sometimes they piss me off. But yet I love them. It's not perfect, if that makes any sense. Same thing in this journey, but just know you're on the right path and the right journey. So I just say all that. I struggle with drinking any water. Denise, that water is so important. What happens with water, this is a couple things with water. And Barbara, I'll get to your question in a second. So with water, the mistake is a few things. One, I met my wife and I told her, I go, I want our kids to live in the, I want to dump them in, at 14 years old, I want to dump them in the woods and for 2 weeks and let them survive. And part of it is if you didn't have anything else, if you lived in the woods right now and you're completely nothing available and you're trying to survive, you would do anything to get water. Instinctively, your body wants water, like it does. We just tricked it and trained it to not drink water. or we filter our water. So Denise, if you have a high filtered water, maybe you need more salt. Put some salt in your water and see if you like it. Put minerals in your water and see if it tastes better. Put the electrolytes in your water and see if it tastes better. That's number one. Number two, especially like reverse osmosis is dangerous, and bottled water I think is just mostly of it's crap and dangerous. Like dangerous. I don't think it's good for us. I think it actually causes people more harm. Not the bottle, the water itself. Bottle's another whole topic. So you got to set a goal and a standard for yourself, and that's what you need to do. And so find a way to do that. Okay, what's up, Ange? Nice to see you. I'm on a rant right now. I hope you guys are all appreciating this. So I hope that comes down to, so in the morning, first thing you should do is have 8 ounces of water or 6 ounces of water. Don't drown yourself. The other thing about water is I want people to keep in mind is most people need more, but we don't know how much. The number of how much water is, it doesn't exist. If you're keto or drinking ketones, you'll need more. The good thing is you drink it in our product anyway, because ketones are a diuretic. So you need to make sure you stay hydrated. So you're drinking our product in water, which is awesome. But we don't know what it is. If people say it's half your body weight in ounces, well, if you're 600 pounds, that's 300 ounces a day. That's too much, right? And if you're 90 pounds and you're only having 45 ounces a day, that might not be enough. So we don't know for sure. Kathy Berry just said she has to have a mission on water. Yeah. And one of the things you can do is just get a cup. You're like, let's say that and don't rush to the end. Just set a higher standard. If you kind of naturally drink, let's say 50 ounces a day, well, put in the night before, get 2 containers of a certain amount of water, like put, 60 ounces in a container. And then throughout the day, make sure that it's gone at least 2 hours before you go to bed. Okay. Not right before you go to bed, but 2 hours before you go to bed. All right. I got a question up here. I'm going to go too quick here. 1 second. Question for you, Dustin. Barbara says, I have a question. I'm down about 14 to a size 10, but I have not lost 1 pound in 7 months of drinking ketones. Why does the scale not move? Well, besides, Barbara, I told you to get rid of that damn scale. Number one, the scale is not serving you at all, but that's called a plateau. When people plateau, why do people plateau? There's a few things. Number one reason people plateau is they stop doing. Now, there's a trick here. This is psychology again. 90% of what we do is psychology. It's not physiological. We convince ourselves something else. So I always ask people, are you doing what you did when you first got started? Yes, exactly. And it never is, right? Also, you're not the same person you were when you got started. So things have to change, right? So you have both. So I would say, I don't know, was it Carol that asked that question? If you plateaued, what I recommend is a few things. Or Barbara, if you plateaued, I recommend a few things. First thing I want you to recognize, if you've had a transformation for that long and you've plateaued, what's your protein content at? Are you eating enough protein? Are you eating enough food? What happens sometimes is when people get on our journey is they get competitively trying to cut food out. They're like proud of themselves for not eating, right? And it's only the people that have been doing it for a while. People that are new, it's not that for them because they're just trying to learn how not to eat, right? Or cut down on their calories. But some people get competitive at that. So are you getting in, Barbara, are you having 50 to 100 grams of protein a day? Okay, that's number one. If that is true, I would say, are you moving your body? You're not the same body anymore. Are you moving your body? Are you physically moving right now? What's your exercise look like? Are you going for walks? Are you doing some type of physical exercise? Your body, you're down a lot. Your body's changed a lot, but you have to start using it, right? Because it is changing. And it's energetically, you're going to make up some differences. So I would say number two, if you plateaued, are you moving your body? Are you physically moving? Doesn't mean you have to go beat yourself at the gym, but you got to start increasing your activity levels. Okay. That's number two. Number three, I would say throw the weight at the damn scale. The scale itself, if you weigh yourself and you're not getting the results that you want, actually causes a cortisol, stress hormone release. That stress hormone actually keeps you more prone to gaining weight, or at least not losing it. So the scale is not serving you at all. Focus on your physique, focus on the mirror, focus on you. Mental health is huge. It's really important. I want you to look in the mirror and go, damn, I look sexy. I don't care what you actually look like. I want you to think that, right? But if you constantly look in the mirror and you constantly see something you don't like, guess what? You're going to find what you're looking for. If you keep finding something you don't like, it's going to keep showing up in your life. Now, I'm not going to get into the quantum world and the physics and quantum physics world and all that stuff, and law of attraction, but it's real and it's there. And I'll tell you why. My wife, She literally woke up one morning. She's like, and she looked smoking hot. And she's like, I feel good. For what? My wife doesn't even weigh herself. For whatever reason, she weighed herself. And she was like 3 pounds up or something. And instantaneously, her energy shifted and changed. I mean, she did. You could see it in her. She noticed it. We both noticed it. I did a live later that day talking about the scale. Well, she runs down and she's like, oh my God, my cycle, I just started, my cycle just started. Of course she gained weight. Her hormones in her body had shifted. It's actually important for that function, right? The point is, and then it happened again for her when we were pregnant with her. She was leaning out after our last baby, and she's getting all back in shape and everything else, and she's committed, going through her journey. And then she's like, I'm not losing weight, and she's complaining and she's mad and everything else. And then she was pregnant, right? Good thing she wasn't losing weight. Good thing she started plateauing and gaining weight. My point is, you might not be pregnant, you might not be going through your cycle, but I'm telling you what, the scale isn't serving you right now. Focus on performance. Okay, and that's my next tip. If you want to break a plateau, focus on performance. I'll post it today or tomorrow. You guys stay tuned. I have a performance evaluation. Like, can you walk faster? Can you hold a plank longer? Can you perform better in your life? Why does that matter? Is that's created a new standard for yourself to live by. And if that's the case, your body will transform. It's just how it works. So the scale is it's a measurement, and it's not all bad, but for the most part, it shouldn't be the only measurement, and definitely not one that you use all the time. So it should be something that you can use once a month. I'm fine with, but you got to focus on those other things. Outside of that, that's really it. And I would say, and if you haven't done our iFast with us, come do our iFast with us, but only do the iFast. If you've already had a transformation, only do the iFast is if your protein levels are up. So I would say take a week, get your protein levels up, and then come do an iFast with us and accelerate. And that will work really, really well to break those plateaus. I hope that helps. But remember, this is a performance product. It helps you perform better. When it comes to weight loss and plateaus, has to do with your lifestyle choices. We got to make a change in your choice. You're performing better. Your life is better. Your cells are working better. What do we got to get you to do to make the big changes? Too many people rely on the product to fix everything. And I'm not saying you do, but that's the mistake people make. And unfortunately, think it's not working. Just not true. It works great. It's an amazing product. We do have our coaching call in a minute. I got to get going down here. I've been using string and doing my waist measurements that way. Go away weeks. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is you should only measure once. I mean, you can measure the first couple of weeks a little more often. You should only measure about once a month. The body doesn't, the recommendation is no more than 2.2 pounds a week, right? That's like 8 to 10 pounds a month. Like most people I meet, if they don't lose 30 pounds in the first month, they're disappointed. Like it's just our expectations have gotten really skewed. Now you can lose it that fast, especially initially with all the water and crap in your body. But long term, you got to look at the journey rather than the destination right away. So, all right, y'all. With that said and done, drink your ketones daily, fast regularly, and eat high quality foods. Move your body more. Drink plenty of water. I mean, that part is simple. The question is why do we stop doing it? Is our life, right? So surround yourself with the people, community, these lives, Zooms, local people in your community that are going for better, and know that you're not going to be perfect. Know that you're going to have a margarita from time to time. Know that you're going to have a happy birthday cake. We're doing keto cake today because my brother-in-law's birthday, but that's okay. But I don't eat cake all the time, and it's not always keto. Does that make any sense? But the majority of my life is, and this is not about me, but the majority of the time, I found the place that I should be. That's the 80-20 rule. It's just that 80-20 looks different for every single person. You got to find your 80-20. So with that said and done, I got to put this little one down. She's going to take a nap. And you all have an awesome Saturday. Cheers.